fans to downtown Charlotte for a crucial Eastern Conference matchup as the Charlotte Independents, currently sitting in second place of the Eastern Conference, play host to Ottawa Fury FC. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. Tyler Terrence, along with the incomparable Mike Pepper. And Mike, we're going to take a look immediately now at the playoff picture for both teams. Charlotte with a chance to clinch tonight with some help from Cincinnati or OCB, and Ottawa struggling for their playoffs lives at the moment. They need to treat every game like it's a final.
Yeah, looking at the Ottawa Fury, sitting in 12th place, they've got a lot of work to do. They've struggled throughout the year putting together wins. They've been able to get draws, and they do have the win against Charlotte early in the year, but that's not nearly enough. And for Charlotte, a win tonight, and that's going to creep them within 1 point of Louisville at first. They might be looking at more than just one of those top 4 seeds. They might be looking at number 1.
Absolutely, and Ottawa coming off of a lot of draws recently, a 1-1 draw against Rochester, and a man who scored a goal in that game and the previous 4 games, Steven Dos Santos.
Yeah, Steven Dos Santos, a big-bodied player for the Fury, and he has been very good at putting the ball in the back of the net. As you see, those 5 straight games, a club record, he's been exactly what the Fury have needed to at least get on the offensive side.
His streak of 5 goals in 5 games, just 1 behind Dane Kelly of Reno 1868 FC. And on the other side for Charlotte, a man who's done incredibly well, stepping in for Alex Martinez and coming off the bench, Jaime Siaj.
Yeah, 4 goals this year. He's not the big name, but Jaime Siaj has been a critical player, and he's been able to find the back of the net as of late, and that's been a key part in helping this offense find more than just 1 or 2 players.
Mike Jeffries loves his energy off the bench, and with the absence of Alex Martinez due to suspension, it's earned him a spot in the starting 11. Now the starting lineup's brought to you by Novant Health, and for Julian de Guzman, a very strong 11 out here. They are without the services of Bruno, however, who's coming off a suspension in their previous game.
Yeah, but in that 3-4-3 is a little bit different. Most of the teams playing forward the back. He wants to press those players forward. Campbell and Barden will come back to the back to help out, but it will be around that offensive front to try to create opportunities.
Dos Santos will be looking to link up with Tucker Human on the other side for Mike Jeffries. Obviously, Alex Martinez out. Siaj will be out on the left. Ross and Hilton holding for the injured June Marquez Davidson.
Yeah, always nice to see his stalwart Cody Mizell in goal, but Enzo Martinez around the attack along with Herrera. Enzo Martinez will find himself moving back and forth, and he's going to be the key offensive cog here for the Independents.
Johnson and Donnie Smith will be looking to fill in the flanks on the outside from the full-back position. Charlotte Independents with a chance to clinch a playoff spot with a little bit of help. Ottawa has something to say about it. We'll find out all the answers next when we come back.
Do you suffer from blackheads, dirty pores, or oily skin? You've even tried squeezing them out and nothing works until now. Introducing Black Off, the newest, hottest at-home way to remove blackheads, cleanse pores, and absorb excess oil. Just apply a thick layer of Black Off to your face and let it dry. Then peel it away to reveal your deepest clean skin.
It pulled all of the blackheads out, and you can see like the circles where everything was tugged outward.
Put your freshest face forward and never worry about blackheads again with Black Off. The proof is in the peel. Call or go online now to get your Black Off for just $19.99. Order now and we'll double the size of the tube absolutely free. As a bonus, we'll send you our Black Off skin cleanser, also absolutely free. But call or click now and you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee. Get the ugly stuff off with Black Off. The proof is in the peel. Order now.
Call 1-800-260-5583 to get your Black Off. Call or visit by blackoff.com. So call 1-800-260-5583. That's 1-800-260-5583. Call now.
Hi, Kathy Mitchell here with my new Red Copper 5-Minute Chef. You're gonna love the way this kitchen wonder makes delicious home-cooked food in a flash. Try this. Place in sausage, peppers, egg, and cheese. Then close the lid. No folding, no flipping, and in just 4 minutes, a delicious light and fluffy omelet. Designed with 2 deep wells, 5-Minute Chef cooks from the top and bottom. So my homemade corn dogs are done fast and easy. And no sticking. Everything comes right out. Call now and get my Red Copper 5-Minute Chef with spatula for just $39.99. And I'll ship it all for free. Plus get my recipe book free. But wait, you can double the offer and receive a second set. Plus our Flipwitch sandwich maker. Just pay a separate fee. It lets you flip delicious hot sandwiches in just minutes. An incredible value. Call now.
Call 1-800-390-8106 or visit by 5minutechef.com. So call 1-800-390-8106. Order now.
Right.
Welcome to the Sportsplex at Matthews for tonight's contest between the Charlotte Independents and Ottawa Fury FC. Glad to have you with us, Tyler Terrence, along with Mike Pepper, and we are just moments away from kickoff, and these two teams certainly have some history between them. Charlotte, when we talked to Mike Jeffries earlier, Mike, he said that it's not a grudge match, it's just another game, but at the same time, this is an Ottawa team who snapped a 12-match unbeaten streak, and to be completely honest, the Charlotte team hasn't lost to anybody besides teams from Canada over the past really 2 months. You take a look at their last meeting, Ottawa won 3-1. Siaj got off to a nice, or Spies rather, was able to put in a goal, but it wasn't enough as Ottawa were able to come away with the win. One of the few games recently where Steven Dos Santos hasn't scored, but this was actually one of Paul Daglish's last games. It was the last game which he coached, and since then, Julian de Guzman has sort of instilled a bit more of a possession-based style of football. Mike Jeffries think that that might lend to a little bit more turnovers in Ottawa's defensive third, which might lead to goals the other way.
Yeah, it's what an incredible anomaly. I mean, the success, I mean, you look at Charlotte right there at the top of the standings, second place, and can close within one, but the two teams from Canada, they just haven't been able to do anything. They did get a draw against Toronto, but Toronto's bottom of the league, that and a loss, and now Ottawa. This is, I mean, when you do see it, Mike Jeffries, you can't look at it as revenge because you're going out, you have to focus upon what your team can do. Rely upon the results that you've been able to put together this year and just go, look, if we play the hard game, Ottawa's going to have to come to us. And I think that's kind of what, as you see Julian de Guzman right now on the screen, that little philosophy he's done is try and create a little bit more, keep a little bit more possession, play into that little area. But it's going to be a challenge here tonight in Charlotte.
Absolutely, and besides the fact that it is a grudge match of sorts for Charlotte, there's so much else on the line. And if you missed the pregame show, with a win tonight, Charlotte has an opportunity to clinch a playoff spot, but they do need some help. Either FC Cincinnati or Orlando City B. FC Cincinnati taking on New York Red Bulls 2 in just a few minutes as well. If either of those teams don't pick up a win and Charlotte picks up 3 points, they clinch a playoff spot. This is the graphic that we had earlier during the pregame show for those of you who missed it, but an awesome opportunity on hand for Charlotte. And then on the flip side for Ottawa, they're not completely out of it. You know, a lot of teams are a lot of people around the league are counting them out at the moment, but with 3, 6, 9 points in their last 6 games, they could potentially find themselves in a playoff spot, but it starts with a win tonight here in Matthews. Yeah,
getting those results is what it is, as you pointed out, the win. And heck, they might be at the half already in the other game. They didn't have the Canadian anthem to go through. So a matter of trying to get this one, but Cincinnati will keep our eyes on that as well. But all that's for naught if Charlotte doesn't get a win. And really, after last night's Louisville draw against Bethlehem, still, they've got bigger things. You know, when we talked to Mike yesterday, it was like, hey, we know we got to go out. We're not really looking at that. Let's just play our game into this sense and goes. But now all of a sudden the top team drops a couple points. You can sneak right back in there. So this is going to be a huge opportunity tonight.
A massive opportunity, and a man who's been awesome in goal for them the entire season so far, Cody Mizell, Air Mizell as it were, as Charlotte and Ottawa are set to do battle. We are underway from the Sportsplex at Matthews. Tyler Terrence along with Mike Pepper. Glad to have you with us. What could be a historic night in Charlotte as the Independents are looking to clinch a playoff spot for the second time in their 3 years of existence. And it's really just a matter of time before they clinch that playoff spot. It would really be an epic collapse if they weren't able to pull it off. But Mike Jeffries, when we talked to him, he said that simply their goal is to win the last 6 games. They're not worried about anything else except results and playing good football. And right off the bat, Joel Johnson moving into a dangerous area. He's been very steady at the right fullback position, which has been more of a mainstay for Mike Jeffries. The problem has come at the left back position, which has featured Austin Yearwood, Donnie Smith, as well as Dennis Castillo, and it's Donnie Smith getting the start tonight. And with the way that Mike Jeffries likes to play, Mike Pepper, is that simply the fullbacks are going to be involved in the offensive scheme.
Yeah, and they're going to be needed upon that. And in that 3-4-3, that will be some space if they can get around it. Those fullbacks will be running onto those midfielders for Ottawa, who will have to be tracking back into that opportunity. But that does create those opportunities to get into that free space to send the ball across.
And on the other side, for Ottawa's formation, they've been liking that 3-4-3, obviously with those outside midfielders pulling back when the ball is on the weak side, just acting as sort of that fourth hybrid defender, if you will. But you know, Paul Daglish had his last game, it was after the win against Charlotte, in which he resigned. And Mike Jeffries said that was the last time they saw the more direct version of Ottawa, and that they've become a bit more possession-based, and he said that that might lend into their style of defensive play for Charlotte, which is pressing the backs and making them turn the ball over in their own defensive third.
Anytime you can create a turnover into that third, it makes the field shorter, and it does create immediate problems for the defense, and we'll see whether that does come to fruition tonight.
Johnson flipping it over, looking for Enzo Martinez, who is tied for the Golden Boot at the moment with Dane Kelly of Reno 1868 FC. So Enzo has a couple of other things on his mind in addition to simply getting a result. But how superb has Enzo Martinez been? An MVP finalist a year ago, and it's hard to think that there's anybody right now who could rival him. I mean, I guess you could throw into the argument Dane Kelly, you could throw into the argument a Chandler Hoffman or a Sebastian Velasquez from Real Monarchs, but Enzo Martinez, when the few times he hasn't been in the lineup, it's the Charlotte team that has struggled. It's not crazy to think he could be the MVP of the United Soccer League.
Yeah, 3 times Player of the Week. No one else is, or at least as far as getting that opportunity. Means you've just been consistent, and it's been worked out, and including the last couple of weeks, he has been really a key part into continuing this run that the Independents have had.
And of course, his brother, just separated by about 11 months, Alex Martinez, unavailable for this match and the next 2 matches as well after getting a straight red card for apparently spitting in an opponent's face. Mike Jeffries obviously had some things to say about that particular instance. We won't exactly go there, but he's just been extremely excited about the way Jaime Siege has filled in for him and has just done a great job of providing a motor. And he said that his team is going to look different when Jaime Siege is in the lineup compared to Alex Martinez, but there is still some positive that Jaime can bring to the table as opposed to Alex, which is just a bit more energy and a bit more direct play, and it's certainly been nice for the coaching staff to see a bit of a change of pace from the outside.
Yeah, sometimes when you've been riding the pine for a lot of the time and you get that opportunity, it does bring a burst of energy into that lineup.
Ball over the top, Donnie Smith trying to get on the end of it, but the Ottawa back line taking the safe route, and it will be a deep throw-in for Charlotte. Donnie Smith, the loan from New England Revolution. Enzo Martinez into a dangerous area, but got tripped up from behind. Good defensive play from Ottawa as Siage continues to press defensively, but Enzo Martinez right off the bat, he just loves to take defenders on 1v1.
Wonder if that goes down as a shot. Obviously, the deflection into it. It's on target. I don't know if it was going in, but yeah, it's good pressure up front. Obviously, the deflection didn't go the way of Charlotte, but it is something that they're going to create and force those defenders to try to play the ball out.
Callum Irving will send it the other way, the 24-year-old keeper from Vancouver in his first season with Ottawa. Spent some time with RGV as well as the Houston Dynamo. Ottawa, of course, coming off that 1-1 draw at Rochester, in which Dos Santos had the equalizing penalty kick in the 71st minute. That's when Bruna picked up the red card. So Ottawa without the services of one of their main playmakers tonight.
It'll be interesting too, Tyler, here as Charlotte hasn't played in a couple of weeks. Obviously, Hurricane Irma last week put into Charleston game, and it's going to be a challenge because they're going to be in midweek form here as they have to travel to Charleston this week before their next week game in Tampa or in St. Petersburg.
Charlotte, the last game that they played was against the Richmond Kickers and saw an Enzo Martinez brace as well as Jaime Siage getting things started in the 3rd minute. And although they got a 3-0 result, and most coaches would be extremely happy with that, the standards in Charlotte are a bit higher than most places in the United Soccer League. And Mike Jeffries said that it wasn't the greatest performance in terms of possession and defensively, but they were just able to put the ball in the back of the net when it mattered most. And he just said that he's looking forward to getting back to a very solid rhythm of play, which they're establishing early on here.
Yeah, the possession, they've been switching the ball over very well. Dangerous ball into the corner now.
Estrada trying to get on the end of it. Good defensive posture from Kyle Venter. Stays in Ottawa territory though. Siage trying to squeeze his way through, but it was a wall of Fury jerseys and Ottawa looking to come out the other way. See there, Jamar Dixon just holding up his hands. They didn't really have an option, and that's what the Charlotte team is going to do to you, and is what they've been doing to oppositions all season, is that as soon as they lose the ball, they're not just going to simply sit back and let you possess. They're going to go right after you and try to turn you over again.
Good view there of Julian de Guzman, the coach for Ottawa, the former Canadian national, many years playing there up in Ottawa, now getting the chance after, as you mentioned, Paul Dalglish stepped down.
It was de Guzman who started to implement that possession-based style football for this Ottawa club, who was a bit more direct under Paul Dalglish. Campbell trying to send it along the sideline, and it was Campbell who used the verbiage that every game has to be a final for this Ottawa team, who are on the outside looking in of the playoff picture, but it's not impossible for them to make up this amount of ground, and I'm sure Julian de Guzman has the utmost of confidence in his side to be able to try to get 3 points tonight and then even further perhaps vie for a playoff spot. They've been right on the borderline all season, but they've really started to come into form. They haven't picked up a win since August 12th, but they've gotten a lot of good draws and a lot of good results against some solid teams, both on the road at home. But they're really looking for that next step and getting a huge marquee win at the end of the season here.
Yeah, the games in hand don't mean anything if you don't win them. So this is technically, I don't know, most of the teams will be playing tonight, maybe not. They're going to have to make up one of those midweek games, but you can't go on the road and drop points. Obviously, for them to get any points would be welcomed against Charlotte, but certainly they're looking for the full 3 if they can get it.
Ottawa with a deep throw, and we already have an update for you in the FC Cincinnati New York Red Bulls 2 game. FC Cincinnati has already taken an early lead. It was Austin Berry with the goal by way of Kenny Walker in the 5th minute. This long throw-in, dangerous here for Ottawa. Calmly and coolly played out by Donnie Smith, but it's still dangerous. Ottawa trying to get a foot on it in the box. It's cleared away by Enzo Martinez, but sloppy at the back already from Charlotte.
Always so difficult. You would look at there where that ball ended up, just inside the 6 of maybe Cody Mizell. He made his mind up, stayed on his line, but getting to the ball, anytime you're that close to the net, it's dangerous, and it does lead to a corner kick here for Ottawa.
Barden on top of it. It will be an outswinger. It's a good clipped-in ball. Free header. Gets all the way out. Sias just clears it away, but not even halfway up the Charlotte defensive third, and it'll be another deep throw-in for Ottawa here.
Long throw is always the most difficult because you can control it so well. One of those things we'll have to see. Charlotte defended a little bit better than they did that one.
Clearance again is poor from the back. This time it was Henry Kalungi not able to get a clean foot on it. Now here's Barden. Had a superb goal against St. Louis a couple weeks ago. As the flick from Reed, unable to find the overlapping Barden. Still Reed and Barden playing a little game of catch. This back heel is superb. Reed still with it, cutting up Kalungi. And finally coming over is Callum Ross, but Ottawa putting the clamps down in Charlotte's defensive third here. It's another corner.
Yeah, a couple of good minutes of possession inside the box here for the Fury, but they have not been able to get the shot off. But it is still creating a lot of trouble for Charlotte, who've had to recover to send them out for a couple of corner kicks.
Donija Reed as well as Barden giving the left-hand side of the defense for Charlotte all sorts of problems as this one is played short. Donnie Smith able to clear it out. Enzo Martinez trying to get on the end of it. Runs over a Fury player in the process. It was Reed, and Enzo Martinez not exactly happy with the call, claiming that it was more of a dive from Reed than anything. And already going to get a stern talking to. Enzo usually involved in extracurricular activity more than most players, and already starting his antics early.
Reed uses his body here to shield it. I think that's kind of the argument as far as was he looking to play the ball. But Enzo a little bit aggressive on the shove. Good job by Reed of just shielding him off, but maybe not a foul in that situation since he wasn't playing the ball.
Mark Kadlasic, the referee in charge of tonight's match, as we are approaching the 11th minute of play. Kyle Venter on top of the free kick for Ottawa. Had a number of set-piece opportunities in the past 5 minutes alone. Asking a lot of the Charlotte back line to try to deal with in terms of organization. The header sent across. Dixon trying to get a head on it. Mizell had to come with strong fist, but it's back out to Barden. Barden towards the outside, sends it across. It's a great ball in. Dos Santos! Or was it Dos Santos? It was rather Jamar Dixon who gets the tally. And Ottawa Fury FC up 1-0 on the road here at the Sportsplex in Matthews.
Well, the last 4 or 5 minutes, you could see that coming. Ottawa just there, and Charlotte's had all kinds of trouble, and they really make the Independents pay for that. First an opportunity there. This one not able to get a lot on it. Mizell does get it out, but it goes right to Ottawa, and from that point, it was a good ball in, and on the back post, that may have actually been an own goal, but it was Dixon who was challenging for it. May have kind of got over the back and a little bit of shove into the Charlotte player.
And it was Jaime Sias who was unfortunately caught trying to defend Barden on that outside, and that's why Barden was able to get around him so easily and be able to deliver the cross, but it was a perfectly weighted cross from Barden. Dixon, perhaps not, gets the goal, but either way, it's in the back of the net. It's an early lead for the visitors who are fighting for their playoff lives, and right off the bet, Mike, they're playing like a...
Yeah, we saw Charlotte with a few opportunities, at least with possession early on, but as Ottawa with the pressure now, but an opportunity the other way.
Comes all the way across. Sias unable to get ahead to it. Donnie Smith now, he sends it towards the back post, hoping for David Estrada, but it's cleared away. Lewis Hilton Quick for the big switch over to the Spaniard, Joel Johnson. So 1-goal hole early on here for Charlotte as it goes out wide for Estrada again. It's another good ball in as Herrera was vying for the header. Ross unable to bring it down, commits the professional foul, and it'll come out the other way.
Little break here, Ottawa looking for that. Charlotte really answered after the kickoff to put some pressure upon Ottawa, but no avail just yet.
Ottawa scoring at least 1 goal, 8 out of their last 9 matches. Steven Dos Santos providing goals in 5 of those matches, but it was Jamar Dixon who gets this particular tally.
It's about the time Julian de Guzman took over as well, so obviously the possession-based and creating opportunities.
Hilton with a bit of a miscue there. Dos Santos and Dixon play a little 1-2, goes out wide for Andre Campbell, but a good sliding challenge from Joel Johnson. However, it is another deep throw-in for Ottawa.
Yeah, last time they really put in a lot of pressure. They think they'll look at the same thing as the ball is left.
A pensive Mike Jeffries. No team wants to go down early in the first 15 minutes, but going down at home while you're trying to clinch a playoff spot. Certainly a precarious situation now for the Independents. Comes the big throw-in. Handled by Johnson. Comes out to Barden, trying to leave it off for Dixon, but Hilton able to pick it up and sending Estrada the other way. Can he get there? The answer is yes. Now it's played along the line. Callum Ross trying to get there, but that's a good recovery run from Jamar Dixon, who seemed like he was back at the other 18 just a few moments ago. Now Reed with the clever foot, but good defensive position there from Kalungi. Up and down action here in the first 14 minutes in Matthews, North Carolina. Estrada. 1v1 here with Dixon. Estrada was hoping that Siage was going to make that darting run, but those two not on the same page, and it's easy work for Irving.
Yeah, when sent into the box, you think you see something on the run, and they just decide not to go. As you can see, wait, what was it? A little dead spot perhaps inside the 18 there for Callum Irving.
Lewis Hilton, who's certainly made the most of what few opportunities that he's been able to start. And he's filling in for the injured June Marquez Davidson. Recorded a brace against Bethlehem Steel about a month ago. And he also got the opportunity to get a starting 11 nod as Dos Santos giving Callum Ross some issues on the far side. He'll stay with the Charlotte Independents. Folks, tonight's broadcast presented by Wells Fargo. Julian de Guzman continues to bark orders from the sideline. His team in a very comfortable position at the moment, up 1-0 on the road. But draws will not do it for this Canadian side, who are really fighting for their postseason lives. Drawn their last 3 matches against Rochester, St. Louis, and New York Red Bulls too. Kalungi, long for Lewis Hilton.
Amazingly enough, too, they haven't won under Julian de Guzman because that last win by Paul Dalglish was their last win.
It's along the line. Dos Santos into the area. The shot on frame. Oh, and it hits the post. Back out for Campbell. Mizell having to deal with another shot as it comes across from Hume. But it'll be a goal kick. All sorts of problems at the back for Charlotte. It started with the Lewis Hilton turnover, and they almost paid for it.
Yeah, the counterattack was almost deadly there. Dos Santos really on that opportunity, right foot. Thought he saw something near post. Don't know if it was on target, whether or not Mizell would have it, but Hume coming in strong, can't find the target.
Lewis Hilton has been a bit too nonchalant on the ball in the middle of the park early on here, Mike.
Yeah,
a couple turnovers.
Yeah, you can't lose it there. We were talking about the pressure we thought we'd see from Charlotte, and we see it here as they get the counter now.
Siage into a dangerous area, leaving it off for Enzo. Over for Herrera. Looking to set up the shot, but his first touch was a bit messy. Now Johnson trying to deliver service. It takes a deflection, and it will be a corner for Charlotte as we continue this box-to-box action here.
Yeah, this one's up and down here through the first quarter hour and even now into the second quarter hour. But it's been amazing here as these opportunities are just starting to go. We're starting to see a little bit more pressure by Charlotte as they were able to force that last turnover.
Lewis Hilton on top of the corner, another outswinger. Header met by Kyle Venter, and along to Jack's Militia on the far side of Matthews. Enzo trying to squeeze his way through. And does a lot of this open play, Mike, have to do with the fact that Ottawa needs 3 points and that they're simply, having to go for it and throw numbers forward essentially every possession that they have?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think they've been able to score goals a lot under Julian de Guzman. It just so happens that urgency that you just mentioned is going to create a little bit more opportunity, but it's also going to create opportunity for Charlotte.
Here is Enzo Martinez trying to bend it in behind the defense. It's a little bit awkward there from Jonathan Barden, and it will be a corner for Charlotte, who now themselves are starting to put pressure on Ottawa. Lewis Hilton on top of the corner again. 18.5 played. Jamar Dixon, the lone goal scorer. Hilton, a great ball in. Header met by Ottawa. Now it's Reed and Kalungi fighting for position. Reed giving up about 3 inches and probably 25 pounds in that battle. Hilton comes out wide for Estrada. The flag stays down. Donnie Smith, good delivery. It's Venter who meets it again. Now Reed working on Smith. And that's the thing with the Charlotte team, that if you're able to break that first pressure, that first line of defense, then there's going to be a lot of room to play in the middle of the park.
Yeah, and it's going to be even more so. Obviously, it's so early in this one. Charlotte doesn't need to panic. They're still creating chances. They have possession. But as they start to go forward, they'll see a few more bodies push up, and that's going to create more opportunities for Ottawa on the counter if they need.
Barden and the referee Mark Kadlasek having a conversation about whether or not Barden is going to earn a card if he creeps up the line a little bit more. There's good news for Charlotte fans here, as New York Red Bulls 2 have evened the score at 1. Florian Velo with a goal in the 18th minute, and now it's 1-1 at Nippert. Again, if either OCB or Cincinnati fail to pick up 3 points tonight, along with the Charlotte win, the Independents will clinch a playoff spot for the second time in 3 years.
Take care of business here. One of those smart things, for those who may have noticed, or maybe they go back and watch this game a little bit later, Donnie Smith on that one had the ball in his hand as Ottawa was looking to take a quick throw. He just dropped the other ball, but leave it on the field. This way, that quick throw can't go against you, and it's a nice defensive play by Smith this time.
Siage waited a bit too long, and Ottawa able to get back defensively. Hilton sprays it all the way across for Joel Johnson. Ross for Johnson again. Finding Herrera in some space. Ottawa with almost 11 players behind the ball, making it very difficult for Charlotte to try to find a seam. Now the center back Kalungi getting involved. Hilton looking for Johnson, and the flag will go up. It was a good idea from both Hilton and the Spaniard Joel Johnson, but the flag went up, and a good call from the assistant referee.
Still trying to get so used to this now delayed offsides, and it wasn't really delayed as soon as we saw him in the play, but the good idea on switching that ball over, but as he was running up, he had to wait until he was actually going to field it, not field it, but at least play it before that flag came up, and trying to keep our eyes on that as well. You wonder, and it does create a lot more. The defenders have to run back, the forwards are running off to it. A lot of times you'd see that flag come up and you go, okay, well, it's going to be pointless to play it. But I do like the rule. It does allow for more opportunities in the game than it was probably about 6-7 years ago.
Barden hunting down Donnie Smith. Very solid outside back for Julian de Guzman's side. Had a brilliant individual goal against St. Louis.
Pick up, we're tight! We're tight! We're tight! And again!
Ottawa coming out the other way. Abassi trying to slot it through, but Bilal Duckett, the captain, read it the whole way. Siage through for Herrera. Still Jorge Herrera. Gets it on his left foot, goes for goal, but it's just wide of that right post. Herrera not exactly fleet of foot anymore, but did extremely well just to get the shot off. And it will be a goal kick for Ottawa.
Yeah, it was a long run. He had a couple steps there originally, but defensively able to get back was Eddie Edward and at least slow it down. And at that point, maybe Herrera just started to go, hey, I should probably have waited for a little help. He had a little bit coming left and right, still numbers back for Ottawa, but taking that shot was probably a little bit more frustration that he wasn't able to go create and finish that opportunity.
Estrada was running with him and was a little bit frustrated when he saw the ball leave Jorge Herrera's foot for goal. And Tucker Hume now takes a hit, as it will be a free kick for Ottawa coming up, but not before Hume has to receive medical attention for what appears to be a apparent head injury. Hume, the 24-year-old out of Dallas.
I was gonna say, he's got a lot of blood coming from that nose right now, so he's going to have to come off. Doesn't want to get that on the jersey either, because then they'll have to change the jerseys. So you can see the nose, and really is just a hand. I think the ball hit him in the nose, and as he kind of actually got sandwiched between the ball and the head of the defender.
It's Callum Ross, who was in on the challenge as well, as Hume just as quickly as possible trying to get the bleeding to stop. Hume spent 2 years at Rollins College and transferred over to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill along with his twin brother Walker Hume, who's now with Orange County.
Certainly some North Carolina represented on this night tonight as well with Enzo.
As Tucker continues to receive some medical attention, maybe a good opportunity for Charlotte to gather their composure. Anything they can be doing differently?
I think at this point, and I guess the call is going to go against this as far as you got to defend a little bit better into the box. The creation that Ottawa has been able to send the ball in, they're getting a few more. They haven't been able to put shots off just yet, but it's dangerous here in this opportunity here.
Barden clips it in. Kalungi with a clearance, but certainly not a full one. Dos Santos trying to see it out of bounds.
The size that Ottawa has up front with Dos Santos and Hume too is going to pose a little bit of challenges for most teams.
Well, Duckett and Henry Kalungi exactly aren't small defenders, but Dos Santos and Hume really do tower over most defenders in the United Soccer League.
Yeah, and 6'4" plus here.
Donnie Smith with a poor clearance. Will be another throw-in for Ottawa. It's a bit of a slow start here for the second-place Charlotte Independents. And it's always tough to face a team who's desperate and who have everything to play for. It's not like Charlotte have nothing to play for. They still need to clinch their playoff spot and fight for a home playoff spot and potentially a regular season championship as far as the Eastern Conference are concerned. But teams that are desperate, I'm sure back in your playing days, Mike, they were always the toughest teams to play against.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte or Ottawa knows here it's basically every game. I think we saw a couple of the quotes here talking about the players like, look, every game's a must win. I mean, it's just the reality, and unfortunately we put ourselves into that situation. What is challenging for them now is they have been able to get a couple of leads here in this last stretch of since their last win, but they haven't been able to hang on to it. And that's good news for the Independents when you see what they might be able to create.
Well, they've had a couple games where they gave up the lead and a couple games where they were scrambling just to earn a point, but they're still able to get those points as they've drawn Rochester, St. Louis, and New York Red Bulls 2 in their last 3 games. Dos Santos will go negative. Nice cushioned header from Bilal Duckett. It's Joel Johnson. Martinez tried to settle it, but it was a missile coming off the foot of Joel Johnson. And it's all the way back for Callum Irving, former Kentucky Wildcat from 2012 to 2015.
You know, as open as this game has been, neither goalkeeper has really been tested in this one yet. Both teams, though, have looked good around the area, but I think in that final third, aside from the Ottawa goal, and like I said, I think that was an own goal, as it may have gone off the head of Duckett, I believe, but or Joel Johnson.
Donnie Smith. Numbers the other way for Charlotte. It runs through. Siage tried to turn. Pops out to Donnie Smith again. Enzo Martinez has some room. Shot is blocked in front by Edward. And it will be a corner for Charlotte, who are starting to smell blood.
Wow, that was a great opportunity there, and you wouldn't want to have anyone else with the ball but Enzo Martinez there. And it's just the lunging Edward that's able to get his foot on it. Does go out for the corner kick, and Independence to see if they can drive one in.
It's actually Martin Del Campo with the block in front. Lewis Hilton now. Duckett elevating for the header. It falls to Estrada, going for the full volley. And Ottawa just clearing it away safely. More pressure, though, from Charlotte. Klunge has to go all the way back to Cody Mizell, 25-year-old keeper from Woodstock, Georgia. On loan from the Colorado Rapids, but has been a mainstay between the sticks for Mike Jeffries, and has really done a superb job. Seems like every single week he's nominated for Save of the Week in the United Soccer League. Johnson through for Estrada. One more outside for Enzo. Into the middle, and Irving does well to hang on to it as Jaime Siage was waiting for the ball on the back post.
Yeah, it was a great job there by Irving, him coming across the box and able to just keep that one from going across.
Hume trying to get free as a number of Ottawa players were asking for a foul, but not much in it from Henry Kalungi. Almost a half an hour played here at the Sportsplex in Matthews. Charlotte have certainly had their opportunities, but it's Ottawa who's taken advantage and has the lone goal by way of Jamar Dixon. Now here comes the pressure from Ottawa. Kalungi. Clever play from Donnie Smith. Siage trying the return, but Ottawa come away with it. Giving Charlotte a taste of their own medicine at the moment. Pressing all the way up the field, and now a foul against Charlotte. Another free kick for Ottawa.
Yeah, and again, the turnover there in their own third, and this time the foul has to be created or committed by Kalungi, and just probably fortunate not to get a card on this one, because going around it was Dos Santos.
Kalungi's committed a number of fouls early on here. He has to be at least sitting on a yellow card on his next one. Jonathan Barden on top of the free kick, consulting with Donijah Reed as well. Barden will take it himself. It's a teasing ball, gets Mizell off of his line, but Air Mizell with a solid snag.
That's critical there, Tyler. He has to come out and get that, particularly how good Ottawa's been in the air on the crosses and sending it in. Mizell has to slow it down there.
Enzo Martinez fouled from behind by Reed. He's asking for the yellow card, and quite honestly, I don't blame him. That's a blatant attempt to slow down the run of play. But Mark Kadlicek not going to his pocket just yet. Hilton. Finding Enzo Martinez in space. He's taken down from behind by Kyle Venter. Now it looks like Venter is going to get a talking to from Mark Kadlicek. appears it's just going to be that.
He said, and it was kind of Martinez stepping into it, and Venter thought he could get around it, but able to shield it and gets himself a free kick right there. Certainly nothing dirty there as he was lunging in for the ball.
Good opportunity for Charlotte just to clip it in behind. Might be a bit too far out for Smith or Hilton to go for a goal. Big body's waiting for Charlotte right on the edge of the box. Hilton bends it in behind. It's a great ball, but nobody was able to get there for Charlotte. Maybe just a bit too far out of the reach of Bilal Duckett as well as David Estrada. Hey, Independence fans, get your 2018 season membership and enjoy up to 40% off 18 game tickets and exclusive team events made easy on an option 6-month payment plan. You can sign up on charlotteindependence.com/members. That's charlotteindependence.com/members. Sign up before the postseason begins and get a first-round home playoff ticket for free. Charlotte still looking to not only clinch a home playoff spot, but a playoff spot in general. Need 3 points and a little bit of help from Cincinnati, Orlando City B. Herrera into a dangerous area, long for Estrada, got turned around. And last touch is going to be off of Kyle Venter. It'll be another Charlotte corner.
Again, running down with numbers a little bit, but Ottawa able to at least slow that one down just enough. Herrera in that opportunity maybe wanted to try and strike, but as it was, Estrada was running away from it. Yet another corner kick for Charlotte.
They like to play short. Hilton bends it in. First header is met by Ottawa, but the second will fall for Donnie Smith. Enzo Martinez looking for the big switch. Callum Ross will get on the end of it. Bent in behind, Estrada back down across for Siage. And he mishit it. It was a good opportunity for Jaime Siage, who was looking for his 5th goal this season, but it goes by the wayside.
Yeah, unlucky. He just didn't get enough on it there, but that was a perfect ball sent to the back post. And then the header across, something that's got to be put on a little harder, but Siage a little behind him. Couldn't get a lot on the shot.
Well, he certainly had a lot of time and space. And again, another update on the Cincinnati-New York Red Bulls 2 game. Cincinnati has scored again, 3 goals in the first half at Nipper, 2 of them going Cincinnati's way. But again, Charlotte do need to take care of business at home here and get all 3 points if the Orlando City B and Cincinnati results this week are going to mean anything. Enzo playing it out wide for Estrada once more. Overlapping is Joel Johnson, goes back for Enzo. Met by a wall of white jerseys who did well to stand up the former ESPN Magazine Player of the Decade back when Enzo was in high school, scoring 186 goals at that level. As well as a Generation Adidas player who had a terrific career at the University of North Carolina. Martinez taken down again from behind, and this time it is going to be a yellow card for Del Campo.
That was kind of the eyes said, hey, this player's being taken down a lot. Next foul on him, we'll issue a card. And Del Campo may be a little unfortunate that it was just his number, his time.
It's a good ball in from Callum Ross, and time again we see Enzo Martinez posting up defenders, even though he really doesn't have that much size to him. And Mark Kadlasek just referencing that that's been his 2nd or 3rd offense.
I think it was more so when Martinez was taken down. It's on this player. He's got that much respect. Because I think that's when the last foul we saw when Venter was in, he pulled back with Martinez. He kind of pointed at Martinez, letting the players know that, hey, next foul on this guy is going to get a card.
Johnson towards the back post, elevating his Ross, gets a good header to it. Enzo trying to bring it down, but it was offside on the far side. Ross, along with a number of other Independence players, not exactly happy with the call. Enzo finished it off, but it will not count as we are rapidly approaching the halftime whistle. Charlotte still down 1-0 thanks to the goal from Jamar Dixon right around the 10-minute mark. Ottawa doing all the right things on the road to try to get all 3 points. Started out very quickly, got an early goal, but now it's a matter of seeing it out against one of the more potent offensive teams in the USL. It's another foul, this time against Lewis Hilton.
I don't understand that ball from Irving. It's a dangerous ball up in the middle. It's not a lot of pace on it. It's just asking for trouble, and sure enough, issues a yellow card out to Dos Santos as he was forced to foul.
Not only was Dos Santos forced to foul, but kicked the ball away after the fact, and I think that's what earned him the yellow card. So Dos Santos, one of the more dangerous attacking players for Ottawa, if not the most dangerous, picking up mustard here in the 38th minute. And he'll have to be a bit more careful going into challenges. Ottawa going to need him for every game heading down the stretch. We'll have 5 more after this one, along with Charlotte. It's another short free kick from the Independents. Kalungi. Good ball in for Estrada. Superb first touch, but it is going to be a foul. I believe that one was on Jorge Herrera, who was a little bit late. Herrera, 12 goals on the season. Was on a tear back on that 12-match unbeaten streak for Charlotte, but really hasn't seen much of the goal recently. Ottawa looking for their first win since August the 12th. And that was against the Charlotte Independents and Paul Daglish's last game. Charlotte looking to make it 2 in a row after a 3-0 win against Richmond, but that was a couple weeks ago. They were supposed to play Charleston Battery last week, but got postponed due to Hurricane Irma. Lewis Hilton loves that big switch over to Joel Johnson. He's certainly got the ball down, forcing Andre Campbell into a defensive header. Estrada. Last touch was off Ottawa, so Campbell had to play it. It's good work from Herrera, going towards the byline. Sends it in across. Siage is there, and it's tipped over the bar by Irving. Spectacular save from Callum Irving, denying Jaime Siage of his 5th goal of the season, and it's another corner for Charlotte.
Opportunity here, and it was just careless. They're losing the ball at your own third, and is rowing in and sent in. Siage may have been at the bar, but Irving didn't really care. He's going to get a hand on it anyway. Put it over here.
Lewis Hilton on the corner again. Another good ball in. Siage was there. Smith cushions it out wide. Enzo Martinez laid back off. Estrada picking up the second one. Goes back out again for Ross. And it'll be another corner for Charlotte.
Looking around the 8th corner of this game already for Charlotte.
Certainly plenty of opportunities for this Charlotte side in the first 40.5 minutes, but haven't been able to capitalize just yet. Ottawa have been superb on defensive set pieces. Plenty of big bodies to win aerial headers. Martinez letting fly from range, but that was always going wide as he closed off his hips. He is a player that draws so much attention and really have to be in peak physical condition in order to take the amount of hits that he takes, and he's rarely coming out of any game for Mike Jeffries.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, he's been outstanding throughout. With all the goals, he's been kind of the impetus behind those real dangerous chances tonight for Charlotte in particular.
Good pressure from Siage. Second ball falls for Barden. Dixon goes out wide for Barden, being encouraged to drive forward. But in his way is Jaime Siage, coming back for superb defensive work. Herrera muscled off the ball. And it's going to be another yellow card for an Ottawa player kicking the ball away after the whistle is blown. and then has to drive Julian de Guzman crazy, because these are all going to factor into decisions that he's going to have to make later in the game for substitutions. Herrera tried the one-touch pass over for Enzo Martinez, and it was Jamar Dixon who was issued the yellow card. And now Dixon, Dos Santos, and Del Campo all on yellow cards.
Boy, this last 10 to 15 minutes really been controlled by Charlotte. Ottawa's got to look to just try and get into the half, and this might be an opportunity as they get the turnover.
It's another poor turnover from Hilton. Adana Jarid was hoping Dixon was going to get a touch to it, but he let it run through. Siaj, clever flick over Barden on the near side. Numbers forward for Charlotte. Joel Johnson taking space in the middle. Falls for Estrada. Enzo Martinez just going to try to send it in, but not his best delivery. And a goal kick coming for Callum Irving.
Or maybe just trying to drive it off of the Fury player to see if he can get himself another corner kick.
Mike Jeffries in his patented short sleeve button down. Seems to be his outfit of choice for game day.
Hey, if it works.
Clearly does. I just wonder if his outfit would change weekly if his teams weren't getting the results that they have been this season. Dos Santos called for a foul, and he needs to be careful. He's one of those players that's on a yellow for Ottawa. Johnson sliding it through, but a good defensive play there from Manua Obasi. .45th minute of play here in the first half. Still 1-0 Ottawa after the Jamar Dixon goal in the 11th minute. Tyler Terrence along with Mike Pepper as we slowly but surely approach the halftime break. Ottawa did well in the first 20 to 25 minutes of this match, but have really been on their heels for the last 15 or 20. And that's a reckless challenge from Donnie Smith, and Dos Santos goes down in a heap. Mark Kadlasic going to have to deal with Donnie Smith now. Dos Santos still prone.
Rather fortunate. That one turned into the thigh of Dos Santos as well. That was incredibly reckless. Maybe a little fortunate. You can see the book is out.
Jorge Herrera, one of the great sportsmen of the United Soccer League, checking on his counterpart, Steven Dos Santos, certainly a well-respected player in the USL.
Yeah, it was
trouble getting his feet.
I was going to say, maybe a little fortunate. The linesman down about 15, 20 yards, probably didn't get a good view of that. But what we saw there is Smith came in, and as he brought the cleat up, it was certainly turned in, and it appeared to be directed at the thigh, and that's where he made contact. And probably a little fortunate there, just above the knee. And, well, actually, they're looking at the other leg that was hit, so. To roll him off the field.
We hope you feel better, but for the moment, take it off the playing field so we can get to halftime.
We got to go. Well, that did at a second minute there for the stoppage time.
Barden sending in the free kick. Not a whole lot of numbers forward for Ottawa here, but they still might get a chance out of it yet. Hume trying to bring it down. Comes out wide for Barden. Enzo Martinez putting some pressure on. Halftime has to be the first thing on Mark Kadlasic's mind, as we are now into the 47th minute of play. Callum Ross. Ottawa's asking for Kadlasic to blow the halftime whistle. Herrera. Almost dispossessed by Tucker Hume, as it'll go all the way back for Kalungi. Might be time for one more opportunity here for Charlotte. Smith going along the sideline. Siage trying to get there first. And that's going to do. You can see the relief on Julian de Guzman's face as his team have a 1-0 lead over Charlotte on the road here in Matthews, North Carolina, as Jamar Dixon was able to get things started in the 11th minute by way of Jonathan Barden. Charlotte have certainly had their opportunities. Enzo Martinez had a goal called back. Jaime Siage with a superb header that Callum Irving was able to tip over the bar, but Mike Jeffries and his staff certainly have a lot to ponder during these 15 minutes in which both teams will get a well-deserved break. Mike Pepper, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the first half hour, Ottawa was certainly able to create opportunities. Charlotte really seemed to take control of the game the last 15 minutes. Balls across the box, opportunities on net. Nothing goes in just yet. But Ottawa could not wait to get to the first half over, and certainly they'll take that 1-0 lead.
Well, with the way it stands, Charlotte may have to wait another week to try to clinch a playoff spot, but there's 45 more minutes to be played. We'll see if Charlotte can bounce back or whether Ottawa can close it out. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Non-attorney spokesperson. Attention. Have you been seriously injured or has a loved one been killed in a motor vehicle accident?
Call 800-902-3240.
For a free legal case review, you may be entitled to compensation. Personal injuries can happen at any point in your lifetime, and in a few seconds, you or a loved one may suffer debilitating injuries that could change your life forever. For over 25 years, the Pulaski Law Firm has been an advocate for those who have been seriously injured. Let the lawyers at the Pulaski Law Firm get the compensation you may justly deserve. If you have been seriously injured and suffered permanent injuries, burns, and broken bones, or a loved one has been killed because of a car, truck, or motorcycle accident,
call 800-902-3240.
Get some peace of mind now.
Call 800-902-3240.
For a free consultation, you may be entitled to compensation.
Call 800-902-3240.
Your pet leaves fur wherever he goes, and it's impossible to clean when it gets on your clothes. Not anymore! Introducing the Hurricane Fur Wizard, an all-new extra-large lint brush that picks up fur and lint with ease, then cleans up instantly with a self-cleaning base. Fur Wizard is faster because of the double-sided action. It cleans up twice as much in half the time of other lint brushes. Plus, with just one dip, both sides are cleaned up quick, and just remove the base clip to empty. Look, a tape roller needs so many sheets, while just a few swipes of Fur Wizard easily cleans the entire surface. No refills are ever needed. Use it over and over again. Get your Hurricane Fur Wizard for just $19.99. But wait, call now and you'll also get the Fur Wizard Mini absolutely free. Perfect for quick on-the-go cleanups. It has a self-cleaning base too. But wait, call now and you can get a second complete Fur Wizard set. Just pay separate fee. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-261-4030 to get your Fur Wizard. Call or visit by furwizard.com. So call 1-800-261-4030. Order now.
Welcome back to the Sportsplex at Matthews, where right now the Charlotte Independents trail Ottawa Fury FC 1-0, thanks to Jamar Dixon's goal in the 11th minute. Independents fans, don't forget to get your 2018 season membership and enjoy up to 40% off 18-game tickets and exclusive team events made easy on an option 6-month payment plan. You can sign up on charlotteindependents.com/members. That's charlotteindependents.com/members. Sign up before the postseason begins and get a first-round home playoff ticket for free. We'll be back in just a few moments with stats, highlights, and oh so much more. Stay with us.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Back here in downtown Charlotte, North Carolina, as the Independents right now trying to get back into this one after falling behind to Ottawa Fury FC early on in the 11th minute, as Ottawa were providing all sorts of pressure on the Charlotte back line, and finally they broke.
Yeah, an opportunity. This one did not pay off for them, but they were just sending balls in the box and just the failure to clear them out. And another opportunity into here, not able to get the ball all the way out. Ottawa gets the loose ball, and from there it is sent back in by Barden, and Dixon absolutely strong over the top of the defender and able to give Ottawa the 1-0 lead.
Just really muscled Bilal Duckett out of the way. You take another look as it was strong fist from Cody Mizell, and then Jaime Siach, not really known for his defending. Barden just right past him. And then Jamar Dixon finishing off the rest. And then Dos Santos, who has 5 goals in 5 games, cracking the post here.
Yeah, counterattack opportunity. And from there, that one's going to be back on net by Hume. Again, another opportunity. From that point, it was pretty much all Charlotte the rest of the half.
Jorge Herrera had a very good opportunity just moments after Dos Santos hit the post, but he wasn't able to spring free. And then this is probably the best opportunity of the match for Charlotte.
Yeah, I think so. And it was just the lunge out there by Del Campo. They did have a block player from behind, but Charlotte continued to go on target, or at least on net in the last 20 minutes.
Callum Irving was brilliant in the first half for Ottawa, and then Cody Mizell would make a nice hold on that particular play. And then this was a very good opportunity here, but Seattle just wasn't able to get a clean foot on it.
Yeah, running away from behind, just not able to turn it back in front of the net. This one offside.
Charlotte would continue to knock on the door. Martinez would have that one called back, as Estrada on the far side was offside. And this is good work on the outside from Herrera, but a better save from Callum Irving on Siage.
Yeah, high, Irving just able to deflect it over the bar. Don't know if Siage got enough on it, but it certainly was in there, and it was a great opportunity. Irving having to go high to hit that one over.
Siage has been very busy in the opening 45 minutes. There could be a goal coming his way, but Ottawa has looked stout defensively. Charlotte dominating possession. We certainly expected that, but Ottawa has really just taken advantage of what few opportunities they've been given.
Yeah, I think, and it was early on. I mean, this one was a lot more. Those numbers really started to skew towards that last 20 minutes of the half. Ottawa really just started to play for that last 10 minutes. They go, let's get to half, let's get to half. We start to see those cautions accumulating too. You pointed that out, Tyler. That might come into play here as we hit that hour mark. You got to start to see who's going to make it, who's not, who you're going to bring off, and a lot of that in the defense and the midfield.
3 Ottawa players are on a yellow card at the moment. We'll see if that plays into Julian de Guzman's decision-making when we come back. Ottawa and Charlotte to settle this one when we come back.
Do you suffer from blackheads, dirty pores, or oily skin? You've even tried squeezing them out and nothing works until now. Introducing Black Off, the newest, hottest at-home way to remove blackheads, cleanse pores, and absorb excess oil. Just apply a thick layer of Black Off to your face and let it dry. Then peel it away to reveal your deepest clean skin.
It pulled all of the blackheads out, and you can see like the circles where everything was tugged outward.
Put your freshest face forward and never worry about blackheads again with Black Off. The proof is in the peel. Call or go online now to get your Black Off for just $19.99. Order now and we'll double the size of the tube absolutely free. As a bonus, we'll send you our Black Off skin cleanser, also absolutely free. But call or click now and you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee. Get the ugly stuff off with Black Off. The proof is in the peel. Order now.
Call 1-800-260-5583 to get your Black Off. Call or visit by blackoff.com. So call 1-800-260-5583. That's 1-800-260-5583. Call now.
Hi, Kathy Mitchell here with my new Red Copper 5-Minute Chef. You're gonna love the way this kitchen wonder makes delicious home-cooked food in a flash. Try this. Place in sausage, peppers, egg, and cheese. Then close the lid. No folding, no flipping, and in just 4 minutes, a delicious light and fluffy omelet. Designed with 2 deep wells, 5-Minute Chef cooks from the top and bottom. So my homemade corn dogs are done fast and easy. And no sticking. Everything comes right out. Call now and get my Red Copper 5-Minute Chef with spatula for just $39.99. And I'll ship it all for free. Plus get my recipe book free. But wait, you can double the offer and receive a second set. Plus our Flipwitch sandwich maker. Just pay a separate fee. It lets you flip delicious hot sandwiches in just minutes. An incredible value. Call now.
Call 1-800-390-8106 or visit by 5minutechef.com. So call 1-800-390-8106. Order now.
Welcome back to the Sportsplex at Matthews, where tonight's broadcast is presented by Wells Fargo. Tyler Terrence along with Mike Pepper. And Mike, we are just a few moments away from kickoff right now as we are going to take a look at the Eastern Conference playoff picture. This is entering today. Obviously, some results will conclude within the next 45 minutes to an hour, but you can see right there, Charlotte, obviously with 6 games left. They need 5 points to clinch, but that's if they were to get 3 points tonight and have help with FC Cincinnati and Orlando City. If they weren't able to pick up a result, they could clinch, but Ottawa looks fantastic. And then obviously Charlotte have an opportunity as well to gain ground on Louisville, who drew Bethlehem Steel about 24 hours ago.
Yeah, that points needed to clinch is basically not just points you earn, but what those teams towards the bottom lose as well. And that's why Louisville could clinch a spot. Charlotte could too if Cincinnati, Orlando don't hit it. and they get the win, but right now finding themselves 45 minutes, but kind of a little crowded group from that group about third down through 8th place.
And below Pittsburgh Riverhounds is Ottawa, who's sitting on 31 points, so they can become a bit more relevant with 3 points tonight. And the upcoming schedule, a very busy Wednesday, as the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference are all going to square off against each other, and that Charlotte-Charleston game a makeup from last week due to Hurricane Irma.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you look at a Wednesday night, it's a Wednesday night special, that's for sure. One that right now that you're looking at basically a preview of the playoffs, although I do think Rochester and Charlotte would be matched up if the season ended today, but those teams are all critical games. We keep looking at 6 games left. There's so much that can change just based on a result or two. Obviously, Charlotte has put themselves in a position that they can do it, that they can maybe jump up into those standings. They can afford to slip up before anyone catches them, but that's certainly not what they're looking to do tonight.
And west of the Mississippi, OKC Energy FC have everything to play for right now. They're currently sitting in 9th place. They're actually tied with Colorado Springs Switchbacks, but what a massive game that is for Jimmy Nielsen's side, as they're going to try to take down a red-hot Reno 1868 team, who right now has the only goal scorer that's level with Enzo Martinez on 16 goals for this season. And they look like, quite honestly, one of the best teams in the USL right now, regardless of conference.
Yeah, expansion team no less too, and they have been on fire. We saw that San Antonio and Salt Lake were just running away, but Reno's slowly reeling those teams back in as well.
Absolutely. It seems like both teams on the Western and Eastern Conference who were leading, whether it was Louisville or Real Monarchs, have looked surprisingly human over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, and Louisville really kind of captured, I think, more so for the Eastern Conference. It may have been Charleston who basically led from like week 4 until about 3 weeks ago, when all of a sudden Louisville and Charlotte caught them. And those teams have been playing a little bit better consistently, more so than what Charleston has.
And do you think that it's maybe perhaps due to some international breaks along the way for players? I mean, specifically, we were talking about Romario Williams, who seems to be basically non-existent after the Gold Cup break.
I mean, it's funny. We're talking about Enzo Martinez, with 16 goals, tied out there with the young man from Reno. But Romario Williams had 14 before the Gold Cup. He hasn't got 2 goals in the last 2 months, which is insane.
And it looks like Hayworth is going to come on, and Steven Dos Santos is going to come off. So that has to drive Julian de Guzman absolutely insane when you have one of your best players who probably isn't going to pick up a card from the run of play, picks one up for kicking the ball away, and now he has to be taken off.
But remember, it was also Dos Santos who got the cleat above the knee, too, right before on the yellow card, so maybe something tightened up a little bit into the half. But I see your point. You start looking at those, and that could well come into play, too, if he is into that situation. But we never saw Dos Santos enter the field of play again after having to come off.
That's right. Dos Santos did go down with an injury. Donnie Smith committed a bit of a reckless challenge right before the halftime whistle. Dos Santos was rolled over onto the sideline, both literally and figuratively, to be checked on. And afterwards, we really didn't get much word. But now Hayworth coming on, and you have to imagine that he's either hurt or Julian de Guzman wants to play it safe and have Dos Santos available if they're going to start him in the next game. But either way, Dos Santos off, Hayworth on in the 45th minute. We are underway for the second half. Hayworth certainly no slouch. He's more than capable of putting the ball in the back of the net, but Dos Santos, who did have a streak of 5 goals in 5 games, that will come to a conclusion tonight. He will be unable to catch Dane Kelly in that department. And there's another player on the field who's chasing Dane Kelly right now as far as the Golden Boot is concerned, and that's Enzo Martinez, as there's a nasty challenge in the middle of the park, as it is Hayworth and Bilal Duckett colliding.
Hayworth was running aggressively down the field, and as he cut back a little bit, just able to get his body in. He did throw his body in front of the player, but I guess enough to earn the free kick.
Ball's going to stay in play. Joel Johnson on top of it. Cuts away from the first defender. Still Johnson trying to slot it through. Enzo Martinez actually had a ton of space in the middle of the park, but the second ball will fall to Herrera. Lewis Hilton certainly had a rough first half. Hilton, he was mainly responsible for a couple of blatant Ottawa Fury FC counterattacks, just turning the ball over needlessly in the middle of the park. Almost turns it over again, able to atone for his sins there and win the ball back. This is a Charlotte team who certainly does miss the presence of June Marquez Davidson in the middle of the park, who just provides such a veteran, calming, technical ability in the middle of the field. And when we were talking to Mike Jeffries yesterday, Mike Pepper, he said that obviously they do miss him, but they're hoping that the likes of Hilton and Ross can step in, but June Marquez Davidson, 33 years of age, you can't really teach that. That's all experience, and that's all what has made Charlotte such a good team up until this point.
I think you described it there, just that calming presence. And, you know, sometimes it's just when things aren't going, it's someone who can take control of that ball, and all of a sudden the pace of play, it's directed, and that is what's missed tremendously tonight.
Tilton and Ross, who are holding in behind David Estrada in the middle of the park. As that one squirts all the way back to Andre Campbell, who will play it back to Callum Irving, who had a good first half, but that's certainly not his best clearance with his weaker left foot. Enzo Martinez lets it run through. Herrera finding Siage. Still Siage bullying his way through, going for goal, but it's just wide. It did not take a deflection, so it'll be a goal kick, but that's sort of Jaime Siage in a possession. He's just going to try to bully his way through the defense, and it almost worked.
Yeah, and again, the poor clearance is what that was, and you would have to think if you're Irving at that point, not under a lot of pressure, maybe take that one down and control it. But as you pointed out, the left foot certainly probably contributed to that, maybe take the momentum of the roll. And as it is, Charlotte can't put the shot on target.
Here's Reed. Coming along the sideline for Tucker Hume. Jostling with the Notre Dame man, Bilal Duckett. Barden, responsible for the assist on the Jamar Dixon goal. Dixon sliding it along. Comes all the way out wide for Campbell. 1v1 with Johnson. And Campbell completely dove. If he had stayed on his feet, he probably would have been around Johnson. And Enzo Martinez taken down again. That's about the 4th or 5th time that Enzo specifically has been targeted like that. And it's going to be another yellow card for Ottawa.
Eddie Edward. I think it was Edward who fouled him right there. Campbell was still down on the ground. I think he has a necklace on at this point. You can see Edward stepping on the foot there. There was
and it is Eddie Edward. Of course, Andre Campbell claiming where the whistle was on that particular play against Joel Johnson, but probably a good no call from Mark Kadlasic. Charlotte will restart quickly. Lewis Hilton looking for a seam to put the ball through, but Ottawa, as they have done the entire match, when Charlotte's in clear possession, they do look very organized defensively. Siage driving towards the byline. Still Siage. Sends it across, did well just to get the delivery off.
And the clearance there is just a matter of not getting it out. Charlotte continues to take a little bit of the opportunity, and that one just a pass a little too far there, Tyler, as that will make its way into the goal kick.
Hayworth involved in some extracurricular activity. Him and Lewis Hilton getting into it a little bit as we are now into the 51st minute of play. Jamar Dixon's goal still stands alone. A little bit of a slow start here to the second half, and had to expect that after the frantic first 45 minutes that we played here in Matthews. Kalungi. Siage was hoping that Donnie Smith was going to be darting up the sideline, but ball go out of play, and another throw in for Ottawa here.
Bad turnover.
Hilton along for Joel Johnson. For some interplay with Enzo Martinez, who's now driving forward with a lot of authority. Finding Jorge Herrera. Herrera dispossessed by Jamar Dixon. Reed trying to playing it up the line, but good work from Henry Kalungi. Jack's Militia now trying to get into it at the Sportsplex in Matthews. Knowing the gravity of this particular match, a win and a little bit of help, and they can clinch a playoff spot. Over the top for Joel Johnson. It's a beautiful ball. Sending it across, and Herrera couldn't put the finishing touches on it. How good was the ball over the top for Johnson, just trying to set up the Colombian Jorge Herrera. disrupted a little bit from behind, and it remains 1-0 to Ottawa.
Just seemed to wrong foot Herrera. What a ball by Johnson across. And there's Herrera as he's going in. It looks like it just goes off the right foot and should have been maybe the left foot. Not able to put it on target. He wants that one back, that's for sure.
Well, he has scored much more difficult goals than that throughout the course of the 2017 campaign. And like you said, Mike Pepper, he is certainly going to have nightmares about that one and want it back in the worst way. But we'll play on. Big ball coming over for Joel Johnson. Estrada around Hayworth. Lewis Hilton giving chase now, but how about defensive work from Eddie Edward? Nice Hilton and Edward getting into it, and you could hear a fan there saying that Eddie Edward is already on a yellow, which is in fact true. And he's going to have to be careful.
That was a good job of shielding the ball away at that point. See the shirt tug at least, and at that point Hilton maybe had the arm hooked at that point and just went down.
So you thought it was more of an unhooked rather than a extension?
I think at that point his arm was inside of the arm of Hilton, and at that point he just kind of shoved him off a little bit, but didn't see anything there.
So would it be offensive or defensive pass interference?
I would think if we're going to have to judge, I think the no call was the right call, but if you're going to have to say one way or the other, then certainly Ottawa should have got the free kick at that point.
Campbell. 1v1 with Johnson. Johnson was able to keep it in play.
Maybe shouldn't have.
Falls right to Ottawa. Hayworth. Giving chases Venter. Poor pass there. Now Charlotte looking to spring the counterattack. Big ball over the top for Enzo Martinez. Joining him is Estrada. Enzo, not his best work. Had a couple of options, saw the defense sagging off, decided to go for a goal, but it has not been his night.
Well, 9 times out of 10, I would say that I don't like that shot at all when you had the other players, but when it's Enzo Martinez, you say, hey, I'll take my chance with it. Just didn't hit it right.
You can see the frustration from the former Tar Heel. Certainly a lot of fans, coaches, and players alike expect a lot of Enzo, but I don't think anybody expects more from him than the man himself. Barden forced to go negative. Kalungi just fending off Reed as if he's not even there. Great strength from the longtime Richmond kicker. Herrera helping it along. Estrada just can't get a good foot to it.
There's still a lot of time here in this one, Tyler, but you can see a little frustration creeping in. Probably too early for that to happen as Charlotte's still creating opportunities. But you can see the hands, the shoulders kind of sink a little bit. The hands kind of come up. I think once you start hitting about that 65, 70-minute mark, that frustration level will even increase more if they find them still trailing at that time.
Bassi flicked it over the top, but Bilal Duckett is there defensively. Azell not a great foot to it, as Ottawa was able to win possession. In the middle of the park, Duckett with a poor first touch. Now Abassi has Reed going the other way. The flag will stay down. Avanija Reed comes back for Barden. Sends in a good ball, but Henry Kalungi is there first.
That was an opportunity Ottawa has to do better with. In this case, Charlotte back to recover, but rather fortunate that just missed on the passes by the Fury.
That pass from Jamar Dixon, much to the delight of the Jackson Militia, goes out of bounds. '57th minute. Charlotte really still unable to find a breakthrough. They've struggled a little bit in the attacking third. They haven't really made the best decisions, like you saw earlier with Enzo Martinez just deciding to go for goal with all those runners. Jaime Siage electing to go for a first-time shot rather than maybe taking a touch earlier on in the first half.
you'll find a little bit, and into this case, as the frustration mounts, everyone tries to take it upon their shoulders just a little bit more. Now Ottawa with another counter opportunity.
Obasi picking out Reed. 1v1 with Kalungi. Abanisha Reed cutting back, great move, going for goal with the toe poke, but it sails over the bar. The toe poke is such an underutilized weapon, in my opinion. You can either agree or disagree, Mike Pepper, but that's sort of the downside, is that there's not much accuracy behind it.
Yeah, if you want to try and catch someone off guard, that toe poke does do it, but that ball, not even close. You gotta test the goalkeeper in those situations. I can't say it enough. Anytime you're in the box, you have an open shot, force the goalkeeper to make a save.
Were you ever beaten by a toe poke back in your day, Mike?
Oh, I'm sure, yeah, but I mean, not from distance. Yeah, I think if there's someone who's coming in and they just lunge out there and you're 3-4 yards away, it's just kind of beat you at that point, but from 16, probably not.
Martinez goes down, maybe just trying to look for a call at this point. Still looking for it, even though the ball is well gone.
So Martinez going for that beard as well. Growing out.
Well, he's been growing that since about when they started their 12-match unbeaten streak a little while ago.
Yeah. Longer and longer each time we see him.
I think that would take me about 3 years to grow.
Yeah, I think if I had done it since birth, I probably wouldn't have that. And I'm approaching the half-century mark, so.
Methodical here from Charlotte, just trying to pick their spot. Opened up Ottawa a little bit here at the top of the 18. Siage trying to turn was Lewis Hilton. But Ottawa, knowing exactly the situation, they need 3 points wherever they go at this point. Now that they have their goal, is it crazy to think that they're just going to be sitting in for the rest of the match?
Well, and it's kind of like we've seen it since the 25-minute mark, and they're just doing a counter every now and then. I think now is the time that you start looking, maybe we can do it. I think they'd like to try and get that extra opportunity in the next 10 minutes, but I think they have been sitting back for the last 25 minutes or so and just going with that opportunity. So it's a difficult thing to do, Tyler. So far it has worked out for 35 minutes. They got another half hour to kill.
Here's Enzo again. Still Enzo Martinez. Gets it on his left foot, but Irving gets down.
Well, if they are trying to kill it, boy, you can't let Enzo Martinez do give and goes. Not even staying with the runner. That was horrific defense. A shot on target. I like the shot. Again, you force the keeper and Irving to make the save, but I think Enzo would like to try and put a little bit more oomph behind that one.
Well, that's sometimes the difficulty with trying to sit in, is that everybody thinks, okay, we have 11 players behind midfield. We don't have to work as hard defensively. It's sort of like a prevent defense in football, where you sometimes just get beat because everybody thinks that somebody else is going to do the job because you have so many numbers.
Well, if you let 19 run into that time, he's going to burn you. And at that point, they let him run, they pass, and it's an offside call as running back onto the ball. But that was just horrific defense. If you're going to, one pass shouldn't beat 3 players, and that's what happened.
Herrera called for the offside, starting in an offside position when the ball was played. And Ottawa will restart. We've reached the hour mark. Still no breakthrough for Charlotte. Ottawa have theirs by way of Jamar Dixon in the 11th minute, thanks to a beautiful cross from Jonathan Barton. It was really just a barrage of opportunities right on the doorstep of Cody Mizell for about 10 to 15 minutes at the start of the first half, and they were able to get their one breakthrough. It's just a matter of if it's going to hold up or not.
I'm venturing to say, I think that this game has another goal or 2 in it, but we'll see how this develops over the next 10, 15 minutes in particular.
Julian de Guzman did make a change at the half, and it was Dos Santos coming off and Hayworth coming on. Still unsure whether or not it was due to injury or a yellow card that Dos Santos picked up at around the half-hour mark. But it was a bit more of a defensive change as this header is going to fall to Reed. A good step from Kalungi right at the last, and it needs to be. Ottawa, another opportunity. Dixon. One of the few times we've seen Ottawa with a clear spell of possession here in the second half. They've done well to open Charlotte up. Campbell trying to slide his way through, but Campbell was offside.
Not sure why Dixon played it out. Obviously, you see the man wide, but if he turned, he had about 5-10 yards of space for himself to be able to turn and go at goal. Just wasn't able to do it. Sergio Minicio. And
it is going to be Minicio coming on here around the 63-minute mark, and he is going to replace Anua Abasi. Abasi with some bullish defensive work during his 62-minute shift, and now it'll be up to Sergio Minicio to try to lock this up for Ottawa. One more substitution remaining for Julian de Guzman. Mizell really hasn't been tested all that much tonight. There's been a shot that hit the post and another shot that went into the back of the net. But other than that, it's been a clean living for Cody Mizell as Enzo shields off the defender and gets called for the foul. He can't believe it. As well as the Jacks faithful here at the Sportsplex at Matthews as Jaime Siaj is still down.
And to the point on Mizell, and as you see another look at this, Siaj goes down. It maybe kind of landed on his hand as well. But on this opportunity, there's Siaj. He is holding his hand, maybe looking at the wrist. To the point on Mizell, we haven't seen him have to do a lot, but I think a lot of that was because of the ball sent into the box. The one cross he came out and controlled, everything seemed to slow down from that point. It's amazing what coming out strong off your line will do to what these forwards, they don't want to send the ball in. They know it's just going to be a ball for the goalkeeper, so now they got to drive it in a little bit lower, changes the way you feel it, and that's just one. It doesn't go down in the stat book. Comes out as a cross, and no one really looks at crosses, but it was a strong play by Cody Mizell.
Here's Enzo Martinez trying to slide through for David Estrada. Tilton who sends it out wide for Johnson. Poor pass from Johnson, and there's a nasty elbow from David Estrada.
He might be lucky if that's not red. See that arm go up so many times now in the game. You see an elbow to the face, to the head, and that's a straight red, but not in this case.
Take another look as Estrada was just trying to get on the right side of Hayworth, and probably lucky that that arm caught him a little bit below the neck there.
You know, and I'm not a proponent of going down, but if Hayworth goes down a little bit there, that might change the decision by the referee. I think if you're okay, but so many times you watch the international game and you watch that, and the player, the embellishment a little bit, not necessarily embellishment, you are hit in the face, but I think that a lot of times, hey, once that card's out, they seem to be walking a little bit better. A little bit fortunate there, I think, for Estrada that Hayworth didn't go down to the ground. That may have been worse.
Johnson did well to get rid of it. The return pass from Siaj, not his best. Martinez able to win a throw-in. And Charlotte continuing to become a bit more frantic here as we're approaching the 67th minute. Ross. Look how far up the center backs from Charlotte get involved in the attack. Obviously with Ottawa, 11 players behind the ball.
Yeah, it affords them the luxury to do so. And it's not like Ottawa has a lot of speed up front either right now in Hume. Hume a little bit bigger size, Hayworth not a ton of speed. So you can take that a little extra step too, not thinking you're gonna have to be worried about getting beat from 50, 60 yards.
Enzo Martinez finds a seam for Siaj. It's a good ball in. Played awkwardly by Del Campo. Johnson, a bit of a lazy pass there, but the clearance only goes as far as Bilal Duckett. Martinez again. Siaj finding Estrada in the box. Herrera was trying to cushion it for Lewis Hilton.
There's a disadvantage there if you're Ottawa as far as getting that clearance. If you don't get it all the way up, there's no one up there to win it.
Edward with more great defending, able to shield off Enzo Martinez, and every ball that goes over the line, more time for Ottawa to take their time, and time ticking away on this Charlotte opportunity to perhaps clinch a playoff spot.
Eddie Edward, a professional, not contributing a hand to assist the player coming up. We saw him a little bit earlier with Hilton, just maybe ignore him a bit. That time Enzo Martinez was down asking for a hand up, and he just kind of shook it off.
Ball played through. Hume is onside, and Mizell comes off of his line, and it's going to be a foul and potentially a card against Tucker Hume. And you can see the look on Cody Mizell's face, saying that that was a little bit late and unnecessary. And Mark Kadlasic agrees, and it will be a yellow card for Tucker Hume.
I don't disagree with the card at all particularly. He didn't really kind of extend in Cody Mizell, certainly the foul, but it seemed to be influenced by the goalkeeper. I think that's the one position that can really influence the referee a little bit. I didn't see Hume extended out. Certainly a foul, and if it was a yellow card right away, I think that's fine, but he did seem to hesitate a little bit until he said, hey, I think that maybe should have been a yellow card.
And now Mike Jeffries going to bring on perhaps a super sub in Jan Ekra, as he will come on for Callum Ross. David Spies is also going to come on. First two substitutions made by Mike Jeffries, as he thanks Estrada and Ross for their hard work tonight. Spies and Ekra onto the scene here in the 69th minute. Estrada and Ross both to come off. So clearly an offensive change with Ekra coming on for Callum Ross, and then basically a wash with Estrada making way for David Spies. Here is Spies, cutting through a couple defenders. Stopped in his tracks as Ottawa continue to defend brilliantly. And the Charlotte side continues to struggle with any team north of the US-Canadian border. Edward goes down and making sure to take his time getting up.
Edward not a fan favorite, as we mentioned, the pulling the hand back, not assisting the player. Good chance now for Reed.
Here's Reed going for goal, and Mizell makes a good save, getting down to that near post. Could be the first save that Mizell has made tonight.
I think you might be right. Anything else just missing the target? Had the one off the post by Dos Santos.
Getting word now that it is 3-1 Cincinnati over at Nippert. So Charlotte most likely can kiss that opportunity goodbye as far as Cincinnati helping them out. They do have another opportunity with Orlando City B, as this one over the top for Siaj. It's called offside. Callum Irving was able to make the save regardless. Enzo Martinez looking for an answer from somebody.
I think that it's a lot of question about whether Siaj was offside when that ball was played. Of course, we mentioned the FC Cincinnati getting a win and taking away that opportunity, but Charlotte's only got 20 minutes. They still got to get a win in that case. Right now, they're still going, oh, I think it was behind the player at that point when that ball was played. Having said that, we do see Irving able to get back to the ball. Of course, I think the whistle may have affected what Siaj did with the shot as well, so you can't say it, but I think that was a whistle.
Well behind the defender.
Yeah, a whistle that should not have been blown, or a flag that should not have been raised, probably both cases.
'72nd minute. Jamar Dixon's goal still stands alone in the 11th minute. Charlotte need a win tonight and some help from Orlando City B or FC Cincinnati to clinch a playoff spot. They need 5 points to clinch, but obviously with some help from either of those teams, the number becomes decreased slightly.
It goes back, Todd. We kind of laughingly looked at the anomaly of like what Charlotte's done against teams from Canada this year. Winless in 3 matches, and Toronto is the worst team in the Eastern Conference, currently last place. Ottawa's sitting down in 10th too, so here's 2 teams that have really struggled, yet they've got 2 wins and a draw against them, and Ottawa's just 18 minutes away from making it 3 wins and a draw against Charlotte this year, at least for Canada.
Well, it's tough to pick out the reason why that might be happening, and even more so that these are 2 Canadian teams as Reed brings this down. Ekra is there. Still Reed trying to push his way through. As Siaj and Reed get tangled up, and it'll be a free kick the other way for the Independents.
Weird anomaly, that's for sure.
Very strange, considering the teams that Charlotte has beaten throughout the course of this season. A 3-1 dismantling of Louisville a few weeks ago.
I mean, here's a team that is staring at a possibility of getting the #1 seed in the East. And at best case, Ottawa may move up to the 9 seed with a win tonight, but they're still going to be outside the playoff race no matter what happens. They still have a game in hand, but it's kind of crazy. Toronto's eliminated, so just nuts that could be the case here, where they're finding themselves chasing them into September.
Foul going to go against Spies, as it's more good defending from this Ottawa back line, whether it's Del Campo or Eddie Edward or what have you. Every defender on that back line, that 3-man back line for Julian de Guzman, has been superb tonight. Julian de Guzman talking to a potential substitute.
Meyer Jaguar
would be the 3rd and final substitute for de Guzman. Charlotte continuing to put the pressure on, forcing Callum Irving to go long. Henry Kalungi able to come away with it. A little more than 15 minutes remaining for Charlotte to try to get an equalizer, perhaps push on for a game winner, but they need that first goal. So it's a fizzing ball over the top. Siaj is onside. Siaj into the area. Sends it across, falls for Spies, still Spies, blocked in front, trying to poke it through, and Ottawa escapes yet again. Wow. Another dangerous Charlotte attack.
What a great ball in. Siaj just able to send it across, though.
Now here's Enzo Martinez on the loose, trying to get the return pass. Joel Johnson. Plenty of numbers forward for Charlotte, maybe to just send in an early cross. Siaj trying to return for Enzo Martinez, and it seems like Enzo draws so much attention, Mike, that it might better serve some of these Charlotte attackers that when they receive the ball from Enzo Martinez to maybe just turn the other way.
Yeah, you would think it at that point, but with the attention he is getting, he's still creating some space. But it is drawing some of those other players in. But I don't know if it's a little bit more fatigue from Ottawa, that long ball over the top. It just seemed to stop to maybe try to react to it. I think those opportunities are still what Charlotte has to continue doing. No frustration, still a quarter hour left. But these chances, they've got to start testing Irving.
And it is going to be Tomas Meyer Gager coming on here to replace, it looks like, Eddie Edward. So a very solid match from Edward, who comes off here in the 76th. Meyer Gager coming on. And the last substitute made for Julian de Guzman, so this is the 11 to finish the match. Charlotte still with plenty of time here. But they've not been able to figure out this Ottawa back line. They only scored 1 goal against them back up in the North Country when they fell 3-1, which snapped the 12-match unbeaten streak. Lewis Hilton, big ball over for Donnie Smith. Showed a bit too much of his first touch. Kalungi trying to come over for Joel Johnson. Andre Campbell with the defensive header. Jamar Dixon a bit too cute on the ball. Now it's through for Enzo Martinez. Enzo trying to cut it back. Last touch off of Ottawa and a Charlotte corner.
Well, it seems they dropped Campbell back for Edward. He's the new left back in this situation. So you look to send 2 out. They'll play it quickly.
It's played early to Enzo Martinez along with Lewis Hilton. Over for Hilton. Sends it across off the fingertips of Callum Irving. And it is going to be a throw-in.
Start to think, we have talked about the 3-4-3, but perhaps Ottawa is sinking so many players back. Do they bring another defender in? At least I know they can't bring him in substitute, but do they bring him back from the midfield or maybe even one of the forwards, tuck them back a little bit deeper?
Looks like Andre Campbell has slid into that left outside back role for Julian de Guzman.
It does appear they're playing more forward towards the back. Perhaps on the other side, we see Barden drop.
Spies. Enzo Martinez just trying to flick it on for Herrera. And another update on the Cincinnati game. Alan Concha's crew has now made it 4-1. OCB to take on St. Louis. Should be underway at this point. Kalungi.
It's an important game for Charlotte too, not only because of what we've been talking about, their opportunity to move back into first, or at least closer to first, but these next 2 road games against Charleston and Tampa Bay this week is going to be tough games on that road for the team.
Johnson, early delivery, Herrera! Might have even had a chance to take it down, but Herrera electing to go for glory, and he almost had it.
What didn't miss by much. That would have been outstanding. A lock for goal of the week, in this case on the volley, but he did not find the target. What's disturbing is you got to find, if you're Ottawa, how do you let that guy that open 16 yards out?
And St. Louis has taken a 1-0 lead over OCB early on. That game over at Toyota Stadium in Fenton, Missouri. But again, for any of those results to mean anything for Charlotte, they do need to get 3 points tonight. Although the number to clinch does become a little bit easier for Charlotte, even without a win tonight, if OCB were to drop points. Donnie Smith on the move now. Smith around the first defender. Smith into the area. Cleared away. Siaj going for goal. It's cleared again.
Ottawa just trying to hang on. That's a long time to hang on. Charlotte is going to have many more opportunities in these last 10 minutes the way they're playing.
Siaj clips it for Joel Johnson. They're overloading the right side. Ottawa's got a player down right in front of goal. Spies into the area. And now the referee is going to stop play.
Says it's a head injury.
Says it's a head injury, so 100% the right call from Mark Kadlasic as Andre Campbell is down and holding the head area. And it looks like Spies might have just fallen on top of him.
On the knee, yeah, the knee came down at that point. If he's down on the ground, he has to watch it. To be interested to see. This ball's right at the top of the 18 and the opportunity they had, but it is a head injury, and that is the rule. Anytime it was something there that perhaps should have been recognized a little bit earlier, because that ball was cleared out of the area, and before it was sent back in, at this point, you knew the player was down. When did you realize it was the head injury is the question.
Hey, Independence fans, get your 2018 season membership and enjoy up to 40% off 18 game tickets and exclusive team events made easy on an option 6-month payment plan. You can sign up on charlotteindependence.com/members. Again, that's charlotteindependence.com/members. Sign up before the postseason begins and get a first-round home playoff ticket for free. Such a great fan base here at the Sportsplex at Matthews, who have followed the Charlotte Independence wherever they went during the beginning of the season when They were still playing their games at either Winthrop University or the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. So Andre Campbell finally making his way off, and let's check out the save of the game presented by Wells Fargo. And it is going to be that brilliant save from Callum Irving, denying Jaime Siage of the header.
Well, you went high. Siage probably wants to put that down a little bit, but that tip over the bar, nice chance now. Siage can't find the target.
Another goal kick coming for Callum Irving. Andre Campbell making his way back over to the halfway line. Apparently cleared by the medical staff. Now into the 83rd minute. Certainly going to be at least 3 minutes of stoppage time added on for the Campbell injury, as well as a couple other stoppages. Hume trying to get a foot to it. Donnie Smith comes away with the ball. Enzo Martinez. Slow Johnson down a little bit. Trying to slip it through for Enzo Martinez yet again, but Ottawa seem to have about at least 2 or 3 players around Enzo at all times. Long for Joel Johnson. Campbell steps forward. It's a crunching tackle, but a clean one. Lewis Hilton. In plenty of space, Hilton finding Enzo Martinez, sends it across, and nobody home to put it home for Charlotte. Not sure whether it was a cross or a shot, but either way, another near opportunity gone by the wayside for Charlotte.
Well, good movement in there. You give Enzo Martinez a little opportunity. I think it was originally a shot, but it was certainly a great ball across. Turned out to be just no one running on that back post.
Callum Irving and Ottawa little more than 8 minutes away from sealing what would be a massive 3 points in their mission to try to get into the top 8 before the season is over. Spies. Enzo Martinez trying to go over the top. Clearance falls to Spies. Pokes it free for Ekra. Ball sent across, and it does take a deflection off an Ottawa defender. Austin Yearwood on the outside. And it will be a corner for Charlotte. They've had a number of them throughout this contest, but Ottawa, with plenty of big bodies, well over 6'3" or 6'4", have done beautifully in the air. Lewis Hilton, it will be an in-swinger. Siage hoping for it, but again, it's Ottawa who gets there first. Obviously, Kyle Venter in no hurry to give Siage the ball. Campbell clears it away, but it does go out of bounds. 5 minutes left in the 90. Joel Johnson looking for an option, but Ottawa force him to go negative. Ducking a great ball over for Yearwood, and he's going to be offside. Certainly tough for Charlotte to get things going. All these numbers behind the ball for Ottawa. Anything you think Charlotte can be doing differently while Ottawa continue to park the bus?
Well, I think with that third sub, and because we do see Ottawa sending all 11 players, they're basically, when they're in the half, they're within their last 35 yards, 40 yards of goal. You got 4 defenders in there. Obviously, they're pressing forward and they're used to getting up, but maybe put on an extra striker. Put someone who is used to finishing balls into the net. You know that Ottawa's not really going to test that back 3 if you do take one of those 4 out and put someone else up front.
Hayworth on the throw-in. Nodded away by Siage. Ottawa have committed numbers forward. Could be room to play for Charlotte. Enzo trying to find Spies, who was unable to get a handle on the ball, and now Reed moving the other way. Reed sliding it across, hoping for Hume, and having to help it out of bounds is Austin Yearwood. Cody Mizell asking for a foul on his outside back, but not going to get one. And Ottawa now deep in Charlotte territory, and time is certainly dwindling away for this Charlotte team.
Yeah, you talk about Yearwood in there at that point. That was a great hustle back on that point, but that's something that Adonijah Reed should have probably played quicker at that point. You had a 3v1, but Yearwood made his way back and at least slowed that one down to get it out.
Assistant referee overruled by the head referee, Mark Kadlasic, and the throw-in will go the other way. Barden. Good turn from Dixon. Siage a bit too cute, trying to get out of trouble. Hayward trying to muscle his way through. The clearance is perfect for Jorge Herrera, who skips away from Del Campo. Now Herrera coming out wide for Enzo Martinez. Finding Herrera on the switch. Now along for Yearwood. Yearwood across, Hilton, and it's in! There's the equalizer for Charlotte. They're hurrying to get the ball because they need 3 points to possibly clinch the playoff spot. They have their goal, and it comes by way of Lewis Hilton.
Well, you saw it coming for so long, and Hilton able to get that goal, that shot on target, and not able to keep it out as Irving. And as you pointed out, there's plenty of time here the way they've been attacking.
The substitute, Austin Yearwood, providing brilliant service for Lewis Hilton. And it certainly energized the 11 on the field and energized the crowd here at the Sportsplex at Matthews. And now with a couple minutes remaining in regulation, there's certainly time for Charlotte to go ahead and get this game winner.
It's been the story of Ottawa since they knocked off Charlotte last month. They have not won. No wins in any of the games, and they've had opportunities and they've given late up. They've come back to rally late, but the draws just aren't going to be enough. Be interested to see whether they try to go forward here at this point, or if they're just going to be happy on the road at a tough place with 1 point, or try for one.
Yearwood again, finding Enzo Martinez. In between Spies and Hilton. Spies goes to claim it. Spies a little bit lackadaisical on the ball, allowing Ottawa to come over and claim it. And back to your point, Mike Pepper, they've now given up 2 goals in the last 2 games that have been equalizers past the 70-minute mark. So this is a team that has really struggled to close out games.
Yeah, this one in the 89th as well. You got to figure the run of play was going for Charlotte. You wondered if it was just a matter of time, but really they did not allow opportunities to test Irving. That time, just too many open men in the box, and Charlotte really took advantage of it, and they looked like doing it again.
Over the top for Spies. Del Campo brought down the shot, just wide of the far post. Jan Ekra almost had the game winner, and we are going to have 4 minutes of stoppage time.
Well, you're on the road, and it is something that you want to do, particularly as you had the last minute. You can't blame the strategy by de Guzman, as that shot just got a hold of it, but just wide. But when you do give up an equalizer in those final couple minutes, you got to try to recover, and it's going to be all Charlotte. The what we've seen here to this point, you would anticipate it being all Charlotte here in these next couple minutes, and Ottawa's going to have to defend it.
More defending for Ottawa as Herrera striding forward. Jorge held up, goes out wide for Spies. Through for Enzo, but he's going to be offside. It's sent across, there's no call. Hilton now. Baffling how the assistant referee didn't catch Enzo Martinez offside.
Yeah, he missed one earlier when he called Siage off. That time it looked like for sure Enzo was a couple yards off.
Charlotte with plenty of momentum. Yearwood on the outside. Yearwood again with the delivery. Campbell gets to it first, and Ottawa will try to put a foot on the ball and take a deep breath. Yearwood has been superb off of the bench for Mike Jeffries, up and down that left flank, providing the assist on the Lewis Hilton equalizer. Good work from Ottawa. They find Tucker Hume in space in the middle of the park. Now along for Campbell. Perhaps Ottawa will spoil the party and get the game winner themselves. Adonijah Reed. Good sliding challenge from Enzo Martinez, not just a goal scorer, but a defender when he needs to be as well. Reed trying to send it in, but he's looked fatigued since about the 80-minute mark. Now Mizell trying to play quickly. About 2 minutes left for Charlotte to try to get the game winner. Ottawa have been on their heels since right about the start of the second half, and even further than that. Yearwood trying to find Ekra. Clearance is poor from Ottawa. They're having a tough time getting out of their own end. Donnie Smith bulldozing through. Smith still trying to fight for it. Last touch off Ottawa, and it will be a Charlotte corner.
Just trying to hang on. Charlotte doing everything they can. And should still get another good opportunity, at least on this corner as well.
A little bit more than a minute left. Lewis Hilton. Towards the back post, Duckett is waiting for it. He actually got there first, but headed it directly down. Now Reed finding Campbell. It's a 2-on-2 the other way for Ottawa. Can they take advantage? Campbell over for Reed. He's onside. Charlotte scrambling to get back defensively. Now here's Reed sending it across. Campbell, oh, and it's off the post. My goodness. Second post that Ottawa has cracked tonight.
Wow.
And now Ottawa give it away. The Independents looking for a last-second game winner. Siage driving forward. Still Siage. Forgot the ball momentarily and gets back onto it. Sends the cross. Jan Ecker will be able to get there. Lewis Hilton. Enzo Martinez at the top of the box waiting for it. Martinez going for goal, and it's blocked in front. Reed touching it the other way. Charlotte get a toe poke to it, and that might do it for Mark Kadlasek. And there it is, the final whistle. An absolutely wild game at the Sportsplex in Matthews finishes in a 1-1 draw. It's the fourth straight draw for Ottawa. Charlotte unable to take advantage of a potential clinching opportunity. Lewis Hilton gets his fourth goal of the season, and it was an equalizer in the 89th minute. And Charlotte unable to take advantage at home of this great opportunity. Both Mike Jeffries and Julian de Guzman will have to settle for a point. Mike Pepper, your thoughts?
Well, insanity, and particularly over the last half hour, we saw Charlotte pushing, doing everything they can to get up front, and they created opportunity. They just didn't put a lot of shots on. They finally got the goal, and from that point, boy, Tyler, I can tell you, it was just, you didn't know which way it was going to go. We saw the opportunities, the odd man rushes, and then finally Ottawa really out of nowhere creates that opportunity off the post. Have to hold your breath a little bit with Charlotte. You're probably disappointed you're coming away with the point, but knowing that you had to trail the game so long, you're probably happy. You did get a point. You do get a little bit. You don't lose ground on Louisville for the week. However, it is an opportunity missed a little bit as far as getting those points.
Well, it certainly is the end of the season, and we're almost at postseason time, and this game was certainly indicative of that. A wild one finishes 1-1 here at the Sportsplex in Matthews. We'll be back in just a moment for postgame.
Non-attorney spokesperson. Were you seriously injured in a motor vehicle accident?
Call 800-902-3240.
You may be entitled to compensation. Every day, 96 people die in vehicle accidents. Thousands more injured. It's the leading cause of death for ages 16 to 24. If you were seriously injured or a loved one was killed in a motor vehicle, get some peace of mind now.
Call 800-902-3240.
You may be entitled to compensation.
Your pet leaves fur wherever he goes, and it's impossible to clean when it gets on your clothes. Not anymore. Introducing the Hurricane Fur Wizard, an all-new extra-large lint brush that picks up fur and lint with ease, then cleans up instantly with a self-cleaning base. Fur Wizard is faster because of the double-sided action. It cleans up twice as much in half the time of other lint brushes. Plus, with just one dip, both sides are cleaned up quick, and just remove the base clip to empty. Look, I tape roller needs so many sheets, while just a few swipes of Fur Wizard easily cleans the entire surface. No refills are ever needed. Use it over and over again. Get your Hurricane Fur Wizard for just $19.99. But wait, call now and you'll also get the Fur Wizard Mini absolutely free. Perfect for quick on-the-go cleanups. It has a self-cleaning base too. But wait, call now and you can get a second complete Fur Wizard set. Just pay separate fee. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-261-4030 to get your Fur Wizard. Call or visit by furwizard.com. So call 1-800-261-4030. Order now.
Full time here in Matthews as the Charlotte Independents will have to settle for a point. It was certainly a thrilling contest as Ottawa hit a post in basically the last few seconds of this match. Charlotte had a couple of opportunities to perhaps get the game winner. We'll take a look at some of the best moments from full time. Tyler Terrence along with Mike Pepper. And right off the bat, Ottawa got off to an extremely hot start. Barden eventually gets the ball here, beats Jaime Siage, and then Jamar Dixon does the rest.
Yeah, Dixon, strong header on the back post, but this was the culmination of about 10 minutes of just hard work by Ottawa, sending balls into the box, creating opportunities, and they finally got rewarded and took the 1-0 lead that hung on for a long time.
They certainly hung on, but Charlotte would have their fair share of opportunities. This one from Herrera just going wide.
Yeah, and an opportunity that was really when Charlotte started to take advantage of the better part of the play. Throughout the last half hour, sending crosses in, just cleared away.
And this, like you said, Mike Pepper, was a big moment when Cody Mizell came out to get a cross, and that really settled things down for Charlotte. And they would have a couple opportunities like this, but Callan Irving was magnificent tonight.
Yeah, he made that save and off the crossbar, gave up the corner, but kept it out of the back of the net. This was a very good chance here, too, that Herrera just missed just off the wrong foot.
And Enzo Martinez would certainly have his word in these 90 minutes as he almost breaks through the entire defense. Just to wonder how Ottawa were able to let him go all the way through like that. Mizell would have to make a couple of saves. That was actually his first save of the evening. And this was a questionable call. Siage eventually has it saved, but it was called offside. When we took another look at it, Siage was behind the defense. Charlotte would continue to pepper the Ottawa back line.
Yeah, sending it into the area, and there was an opportunity. Herrera probably would have wanted to bring that one down, had all kinds of space.
And then Enzo Martinez would send it across, but Siage was unable to get there. And then this was the big moment for Charlotte. Herrera with the composure to find Yearwood on the outside, and then Lewis Hilton in the 89th, his 4th goal of the season.
Yeah, and a great finish. Ball sent into the near post. Hilton with a fantastic run and able to just get it underneath Irving. Irving probably just, he'd like to do a little bit more with it if he could.
And then Ottawa, just minutes after the equalizer, Campbell hits the post. And that would do it from the Sportsplex at Matthews. A live look at the Eastern Conference standings now. Charlotte still 3 points behind Louisville City with that point. Louisville obviously with a game in hand. Ottawa, their position doesn't move much either, and their chances of making the playoffs really diminished with tonight's result.
Yeah, and you can see Charleston obviously got the win here a little bit earlier tonight too. So at that point, they're going to get an opportunity. It's Charlotte and Charleston coming up this week. Big matchup between the top 4 teams, Louisville City and Rochester as well.
FC Cincinnati will most likely get 3 points tonight, and that is where they stand in 6th place. But the game to watch is Orlando City B tonight for Charlotte Independence fans who are taking on St. Louis FC as we speak. It was a thrilling contest here at Matthews Court, North Carolina tonight, and it finished in a 1-1 draw. Charlotte will have to wait another week to clinch their playoff spot. Ottawa need all 3 points in the rest of their 5 matches. For my broadcast partner, Mike Pepper, I'm Tyler Terrence saying so long for now, and thanks for tuning in.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.